Well, this is one of two replacement barn doors. Jeff and I made some. They were installed, well, we back up, we made them out of an exterior MDF product. And the material failed on us, and we wound up having some cupping issues. So we went back to the drawing board. We decided we would go with a Sapele frame, just like a large door frame. And these are 8 feet by 57 inches, so it's a pretty big door. There's two of them. And then we used this stuff, it's called Boral. It's kind of like a cement board. And we're hoping that these are going to be permanent replacements. We'll see how that works out. We'll keep everybody up to date. All right, good morning. We're out here in the Hamptons at the site of this barn door failure. There's no other way to put it. You can see the doors are bowed quite a bit. That was through this failure of the material we used, this exterior MDF. We're going to go through the process of replacing these today. Got my good buddy Rob DeMarco all the way from East Islip, West Islip, Long Island, out here to help us today. All right, well, with Rob DeMarco's help, we got these doors hung. We got the hardware on. Got some new drop bolts added. See that? Lock in. Everything seems to operate really nice, smooth. This winter will give us a good indication these doors are really going to stand the test of time. I believe they will. They look good. I think we learned a little bit doing this job, and the client's happy. That's really all that matters. Right, Rob?
That's right.
Well, here are the old doors. We've got them back at the shop. Fittingly, they're leaning up against our dumpster. And we'll cut these up and get rid of them as soon as this video's shot. These were made of exterior MDF, which we thought would be an appropriate material. And as you guys know, these things were a complete failure. They cupped a good inch from top to bottom. So last Friday, I picked up Rob DeMarco in West Islip. He was really good enough to help us out. We drove another 60 miles out to Bridgehampton, and we pulled up with some replacement doors. Of course, we built the new doors differently. The process was pretty straightforward. We took these doors off, set them flat on a couple of tables. They're upside down right now. This is where the hardware that they're, you know, barn-style doors where the roll is right on a flat track. We pulled off the hardware, put them in the same position on the new doors, and just swapped them out. It was just as simple as, you know, lifting the doors on and off and replacing them. The only trouble is these things are so heavy. That's another reason we probably would look for a different material. Even if these didn't fail, these doors have to weigh over 300 pounds, and it was all I could do to help Rob, you know, lift this thing up just like 2 inches onto the track. That's really all it took. You could see where the painter painted around the hardware the first time around. We finish painted the new doors so that there wouldn't be any of this happening on the new set. The pulls were taken from an old Apple press. It was something that the client had picked out, you know, years before. Just said, I'm going to need this someday for something, and it happened to be these doors, and it really was a nice touch. So we installed the hardware. The client wanted a couple of drop bolts, which are just these, you know, you've seen them on like library doors and stuff like that. We drill the hole into the stone in the patio, and then just installed the drop bolt so it slides down into a little hole in the stone to secure the doors when they're closed. And all that was left was to put these things back in the van, which was the last thing of the day, and we could barely get them in the van, I have to tell you. And here they are, awaiting their final destination.
So, picking up where Rob left off, sort of explain how we, came to use this specific material. So, we did a bunch of work in this house out in the Hamptons, and it was getting towards the end of the job, and the client, she wanted some barn doors for the pool house outside. When you get to that point in the job, anything new that you're adding on, usually the budget has just been, usually you're over budget by that point anyway. So she wanted us to build some barn doors, but there was a very tight budget. A big part of our cost on these Hamptons jobs is getting out there. So it's a 4-hour drive there and back. So you can imagine, we have to leave the shop at like 4 o'clock in the morning, get to the job in the morning, maybe 7, so 3 hours in the morning. Then you have to work and come back. So it's a lot of labor just going out there. So it automatically makes all these projects a little more expensive. So in order to keep costs down on this project, we said, well, how about we use this exterior MDF product? We had used it before on some outdoor signs. Our buddy Keith from Blackthorn Concepts, CNC carved, and we painted for a designer that we work with. So we had used it in the past. We were somewhat familiar with it. It's readily available from Fez, our plywood supplier, and it's something that we're able to make a big barn door like this very quickly. If we were to make it out of solid wood, material price is much more, and the labor is much more. If this is a piece of 8-quarter sapele, it starts out rough like up there. It has to be jointed, planed, cut on the table saw, jointed again, glued up. It's a lot of work. So this was relatively simple. This is a 4x8, and we have a seam somewhere. It's probably either this groove or this groove. I'm gonna guess it's this one. And it's 2 layers. So basically it's one sheet is here, and then it's reversed on the back. We have the seams. The seams are not in the same exact spot. They're opposite of one another. So we thought gluing these up in the vacuum bag and just routing these grooves into it would be a really fast way to make these doors, to make it happen for the client and fit their budget. It is a product that can be used in like large scale paneling like this. According to the manufacturer, this is manufactured by JELD-WEN. And they did deem this a material failure, and we were actually refunded the cost of the material. But I do think that maybe we had a bit to do with it. We have all of these V grooves here in the face, and on the back, we'll see if we can get a shot of that. We just have one where the seam is. So I think we may have thrown them out of balance. I don't know if that's what did it, or if it's a true 100% material failure. But we had to fix it for the client, so we went ahead and we built them another way that we were more comfortable with, more confident in, I should say. And the client's happy, so that's all that matters. So we just thought we would share, a little failure of ours to show you that not every job goes as planned, and it's really all about how you recover. Clients are very understanding when you're able to, offer a solution and make right on what you promised them. So if it happens to you, don't get discouraged. We're obviously discouraged when it happened and upset and all those things, but if you sort of just put your head down and just plug away and get to the finish line, you have a happy client in the end, which is really all that matters. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about the doors, how we built them, or the new doors, leave it in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video.